The time may yet be right. A banner may yet fly. Where so of the nationality bonuses here, big general utility. I mean, the rest of these probably matter in their own contexts. This one seems underpowered. Just wood speed. This, in another life, this would be the move. You'd probably make big money off of this. And construction times are huge enough that, yeah, maybe, but universal generic utility of bigness. Rattle the bones a little. I think that's a foundation. Now, extend. And where do we keep beard? Yeah. No need for paint. And
no quarter for the position. Stand down.
Alright, so background. The initial build. Build goals. Maximize roguery. Several other priorities secondary. Preferred weapons, crossed bow and pulled arm. Preferred strategic skills, tactics and leadership are going to be relevant. Scouting, very helpful. This is a very high cunning character plan. Athletics, good, but endurance overall is going to be less important. Time will tell how tall a character can become, so let's see. Parents, mercenaries. Never. No child will be known for this. Claim this is the mark of a liar. Known for leadership. A youth of crime. One-handed weapons are going to be relevant. There's going to be need for a sidearm that cannot be a full-sized pulled arm. Also, yet more cunning. Youth options, once again, camp follower, more cunning. Throwing weapons will also have their place. greatest achievement in your initial life of adventure. That time you did the thing. All will tell the tale of the incident. Yeah, get that initial tick of athletics and yet more roguery. Full starter renown. Brother adventures. When you did the ruse. Tactics, roguery, even more cunning. The many deadly tricks and traps. Of that rogue of yore. And default difficulty. As we load our way in to Bannerlord, which is in a mostly functioning state. Still as yet incomplete, but the campaign is there. And right, normally you would be awarded this at the end of the tutorial, but we are definitely skipping by that to get to the point. A time before crab had become part of heraldry. Year 4, the prequel to Il Grande. Maybe, probably, we'll see. The game is still, under active development. Any amount of hot code could cause this campaign to vanish in a puff of smoke and need to be restarted. As you do. So, the scheme which awaits. I'd like to go independent. As a rogue and a brigand, and then eventually as a self-made lord. Trade quickly. Easier intimidation. Many of the perks in this still don't actually work as advertised yet. There are things waiting to be implemented, as will happen. Let's just go through some opening moves and see what follows. Yes, apply those changes. You have always built in your starting quest to work on. Gone are the days of opting out of having some sort of noble heritage you can legitimize yourself off of. That's just assumed now. You are part of a disgraced clan that is mostly destroyed, but still exists on paper. That you can rebuild. We still have to wait quite a while before we'll be equipped enough to raid a village and actually knock people over. The starting choices give us a pretty decent initial loadout. We have a hearse, spear, shield, and sword. I will be discarding this sword and putting in a ranged weapon and ammo at an appropriate time. Regular ass clothing, decent boots. These are reasonably tough boots. But the sword is also the weapon that we can carry around in town for the time being. So, usual opening moves, I need to put together a squad. Quickly hit up some towns, grab a handful of randos. Already tapped out. Fighting 7 with 5, that seems correct. So, to spend a moment before engaging in that, to just kind of look at the world here. Bannerlord went with the very interesting and cool idea of, this is a prequel to Warband. This is set in Calradia earlier, centuries earlier than the world as it was presented in Warband. Where Warband is more like your high or late medieval Bizarro Europe. This is late antiquity / early medieval. You have here a fractured but still existent empire of old. West, East, and North Empire. You have your nearby, freshly minted kind of caliphate. You have a different steppe horde hanging out. You got kind of a Viking Rus kingdom going on up in the north. And your vaguely Celtic and vaguely Francian mainland kingdoms. Yeah, something like your 6th, 7th, 8th century. Calradia under Carlings, or the like. In all eras, looters are a constant. And so, in these forgotten times, there was, as always, a legend. Of the man who strode against the gods. Of the unlanded lord. Scourge of nobles, bane of cattle. Timing the stab is still difficult for a ride by on a horse. Fortunately, I'm going to abandon mounted combat as soon as feasible. For the more honorable way of walking. Which, actually, yeah, let's just send the squad at him, and we should collide around here. Come at me. Where, main thing that confirmed for me that Bannerlord was in a good, playable state was that, the hitboxes and the damage and the physics for all kinds of stabs work now. Stabbing in Warband was extremely janky and effectively useless. It is now vastly improved to slightly awkward, but very usable. That's a lot of looters. And this town has no spare troops. Dangerous. Okay, they aren't interested in me. Just slightly too soon to face that many brigands. Get into town here and do some of the other initial busy work of unlocking practice fights in the arena. Sir, I have heard of sports. Tell me more. What are sports? Chasing tournaments is still a good way to get your initial windfall to get things started. Tournament prices are pretty good. In Lycaron and Sanoa. Oh, also another thing about the campaign that is normalized at this point is you always start here regardless of what origin you choose. Situated comfortably on the border between the three empires. A fine learning community. Tavern. Yeah, let's try to procure a companion. Also, ransom off brigands. Could have selected this guy from the menu. Let's see, is this you? No. Houndsman. Hard. Should have just clicked him off of the menu. There you are. Lock him. So you have some skills. Welcome, friend like him. Yeah, smithing is a thing now. It's slightly awkward to do. Magni will likely not pursue it, but yeah, you can make yourself custom weapons. Gradually unlock more bits, eventually create things that aren't normally available in shops. But go into circulation after you've invented them and publicized them. You can go about, like, melting down and recycling equipment that you've seized in battle. It's also, at this time, there is a grievous exploit. You make any javelin. These are grotesquely overvalued in terms of experience and in terms of cash value. You sharpen the stick, you throw the stick, and the economy vanishes in a cloud of smoke. Alright, so lock in the grain is something I keep around. Sell the rest of this garbage. You have shown up with, well, sword. Basic cloth gear. And you are on foot. Cannot quite afford projectile right now. We'll take a bag of bolts, just to have it around. Slightly larger one. Oh, and all the menu and UI stuff is extremely good here in Bannerlord. You walk into a town, there will be a list of VIPs across the top of the screen that you can just immediately select and interact with.
Beep. On my flank! Come on! Die, dog! Yeah!
No idea if they fixed any given perk that may or may not have been working before this time. The game is under constant development. Ah, there we go. There's more lads. So there's a tournament over in Lycaran. There we engage the sports. Also, let me check on exactly what our new associate can do. Very good at murder in close quarters of all flavors. And terrible at ranged fighting. Very athletic. Not a rider, really. And not much of anything else. Just can sprint, can shop. Fine lad. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Beep.
Sports. Don't have much money to try and bet, so I don't think I'm going to gamble. We will just fight and see if we can pull off the big prize here of a real hat. Just look at that. It's handsome. Ugh. Disgusting. This is what passes for sport in this country? Are you not entertained? Oh, Lakem also entered. Good on you. Sports be joined. Duel this rando Imperial recruit. Sword. If I'm going to bet at all, it will be on the finals. There's not really money to spare for any mass betting. Have the cash for one bet exactly. Other nuance of combat in Bannerlord, shields were nerfed. Guarding with a shield is now also a directional thing. The shield gives better coverage than blocking with a weapon. But it is still possible to swing around a shield. Also, hey, that's cheating. Where's your sports armor? This is not the battlefield. This is a sports. You're supposed to wear sporting clothes. Who wears a brigandine to the gym? That's just not right. And so, the legend begins. Getting up to my initial 20-person squad is an important early breakpoint. Want starter cash. I could take jobs, or I could begin to take matters into my own hands. Majestic. It's a lovely day in the city. Alright, so part of how towns work here and now, you have many locations, some of which are just kinda there. And are hangouts for local brigands. On the list of VIPs in a city, some of them are the local patricians, local guild leaders, business owners. The rest are the local crime bosses. We'll need to start buying food. Food is important. Alright, street fight versus Milosh. Team? This being the primary reason I'm okay with having one-handed weapon skill. Street fighting is done in your civilian attire, rather than your battlefield attire. So you should still be good with a knife. Some steel. Do some new shoes. And of course, we take everything. Also, the way that the numbers work out, if you apply pressure to all of the gangs equally, they end up respecting you. Mutually. You build your rep. Pull off all of that. Buy snacks. We have earned snacks. Bread and butter. Okay, good. They made the icon for hardwood much more immediately recognizable. This is important for everything that you do smith-wise. So this is also a good early source of revenue for getting your army started. Just pick a city and go take control of the streets. So since we've picked on Milosh over there, now we pick out somewhere else. Yeah, this can be quite time-consuming since some cities have very inconvenient layouts to walk through. I'll probably only do this once more in this town, and then we'll go somewhere else. We should chase more tournaments. Yeah, so places like Waterfront and Clearing and Back Alley are where you will find brigands. The Wart. The waterfront of this inland mountain town. There's probably like a tiny stream that makes it down to this river. Probably. Also, hey, I didn't spend my level up. The resources that you get when you level. You have a cap in each of your skills that is a function of your relevant attribute and how many points of focus you have invested into that skill. You can see here with our immense focus in roguery, we are nearly maxed on potential brigandry. Skilled indeed. So the main thing you get when you level is more focus points that you can then freely throw around into other skills. That helps the skill itself rank up faster and raises your cap in that skill. And every skill has a situation, well, situations and actions which cause it to gain points. Breaking out of prison gives you rogue experience. As you should expect. Yeah, so basically every level you get a focus point. Some levels you get an attribute point to spend. You gain overall experience by just contributing XP to any skill at all. It all helps improve your overall level. And speaking of, hey, recruiting brigands rather than selling them contributes to our rogue exp. Here's a looter. There is a very expensive perk that is necessary to actually naturalize brigands into regular soldiers. Over here in leadership. Yeah, over here, disciplinarian. Do need to throw a bunch of focus into leadership and somehow get leadership exp. Leadership is very hard to rank up. If you really want a skill to improve, you need to have at least one focus point in it to get any cap. And to get that growth rate to properly take off.
Come on!
Guess there's a lot of metal business in this town. Oh, I have my first one-handed perk available. Where also a thing they have done is a lot of the weaponry-related skills also give benefits to your army. I have no idea what fraction of these actually work as advertised or not at this point. Not terribly concerned by it. You need to remember to account for civilian wear. These gloves in. May as well have anything to wear on head. You can keep your look. And there we go. There's crossbow money. no longer bring the sword to the battlefield. I will still carry the sword in town. Let's also get a couple of mule. That now, properly, it can begin. Oh wait, are these separate? These are separate swords. I have two swords. Business sword and casual sword. Well, now you have a better battlefield sword. And yes, as I pop open this menu that really should be open by default. Move speed. One of the influencers of move speed is having extra beasts of burden. Probably not enough to matter right now, where I've only just now acquired a single mule. I had a couple of extra. Well, not right now. We'll move on to the next town. Seek out further cash. So, fight boss. Tournaments in Myzea and Onera. I guess we go east. Do need to recover a bit from the street fights. Now, ranged combat training can begin. Well, there we go. Nice. Get you some gloves. Terrible, terrible gloves. And if I had another saddle, I might put you onto mule. I did not take the rest of that loot. It's fine. Yeah, that's the loot you leave for others. That's just being polite. There we go. Get that last minute shot in. Other vast improvement to combat here in the Bannerlord. Morale is a thing. It's a thing and it's real. It comes up. Many opponents will flee from the field rather than insisting on fighting to the last. Fish. Sell these various rags. Always thinking about buying back other things in order to get our basic equipment up. Yeah, you deserve a shield. I should probably nominate you for some kind of skirmishing weapon. Knife? Knife. Next mule purchased. Arena isn't open until morning. We may as well sleep and gain health. Not walk into the tournament with 20% life. $37 though. That will... Alright, we've missed the tournament. Or this is the wrong city. Chicon, then Mysia. Hey, important UI feature. You can tag places. They will be highlighted for ease of viewing. Alright, let's roll. Also fight even more brigands on the way up.
Stay close!
Alright, we've nearly got our basic loadout established. Good times. Also, athletic perk. Health or Fiesta. Gotta go fast. Want to put focus points into athletics, into tactics, into leadership. Definitely into leadership. Also, good thing about having high roguery. We'd get more loot from fights. In earlier test games of Brigandry, there was a very early point where you will just never run out of supplies. As long as you are routinely fighting what you find on the road, you will forage whatever you need. Other good, wonderful improvement of Bannerlord. Hey, here's the unit tree. Our unit tree is just available for view. You can check out what their deal is. See their full loadout. The plan will be to, mass archers, preferably crossed bows. And for any flavor of footmen, favor the pointy stick. In the case of Imperials, that'll be the Manavlian and the crossbow sergeant. Retain these grapes. Liquidate the pile. Ransoming becomes much more relevant once you are actually dealing with like proper soldiers that you're capturing in wars rather than in just randos you find on the side of the road. Sports. Sports when I have proper gambling money. Go our team. Vow to immediately betray each other. It's how it always had to be. Had it all on sports. More hats. You'll love to see it. Alright, so is this slightly better than my previous hat? So this gets handed down. Good stuff. Crushfinger Adnia. Now there's a crime name. What if I crush your hands? What then? Do you have an answer to that? I think we have to go fight Crushfinger. Yeah, so things to do during your early setup. Get some cash. Get whatever primary weapon you're interested in. Get some decent body armor. And assemble your core squad. Alright, this is a back street, and it's right next to Crushfinger. This is probably her turf. Oh, you got quite a few lads on this corner, whoever runs this place. What goes on here, friend? Oh, this is Epoxy and Dross's territory. Never mind. You're next, though. For this moment, I just want to crush the fingers. Though I wonder if I could just also take the fight directly into their house. Figure the overall campaign arc for Magni. First we get our feet on the ground, establish reputation. Then once we have the a decent pile of money going on, pick a city that will be our future base of operations and clear it out. Properly subjugate all of the local brigands, buy out the businesses, be effectively boss of that town. You are the ones who crush. You believe you are the ones who crush. You are mistaken. There's a party going on.
Attack!
When it is eventually time to forge the old Kingdom of the Scorpion. To become the mule over the mountain. We'll have to take a look at how local politics have shaken out on the map. Some weapons. Ooh, mace. Any of the maces are not civilian compatible. No one carries a mace into town. That's too wild. Bridge your boots. This is decent civilian armor. Go ahead and hand that off to you. Get the spice. Although, yeah, in terms of general equipment, I am going to probably discard anything that has a negative descriptor on it. Unless it's, like, specifically an early opportunity to get at some especially good weapon. You take the bent, pointy hook. Without question. That's just how it has to be. Also, let's see here, filter for armor. Let's get auxiliary body armor. That's my battlefield setup. That's not that big of an upgrade over your tunic and shoulder pads, so that can stay as it is. Although as a civilian outfit, this leather tunic is great. Pop that on there. And yeah, so our tournament prizes here were like 7,000 gil worth of hats. We've saved a lot of drachma by doing sports. Speaking of, wait, is there another tournament? Is there 2 tournaments? Even more sports? Oh, for a fine pike, though. This is fate. This tournament was meant to be. Mars is laughing. Okay, problems. Being the skirmisher in this format is not a great place to be when you have none health to spare. Still qualified. Good enough. Come on, Marion. Come on, Marion. Yeah! Got there. And now, for honor. For the stick. Chill, please. This was fate. All right, my prize. Oh, I can chop with this. This has a cutting edge. This is a swinging pole arm. It is slightly slower, a bit more awkward, but otherwise stronger in every way. And my simple spear. You'll love to see it. Yes, so, he's a bit tall to actually get a view of it while we're on this screen here, but this is knife on a stick, more so than a point on a stick. This has a chopping edge. And I have a focus and an attribute to throw around, so chip. cunning. Brigandry. Gotta eventually achieve that maximum crime. Morale from villages. Boosted loot. Oh, there we go. There's the perk. Just open up all one-handed weapons in civilian mode. Bring the knife to the fist fight. Escape artist. Just get away. Just pop back. On the brink of defeat. Alright, so let's see. We are gradually scraping our way up to A clan rank. Got cash, got party. Just need to find more renown in order to resume advancing the plot. For all that has any import. Sport boss, where is the next tournament? Umbrella, Saronia. Untag. Oh, Saronia is just right over there. Yeah, that's where I went mistakenly. We stride. I guess since we're passing by this army, oh, another Bannerlord thing, multiple friendly units can fuse together and move as a larger group. This is how you do warfare. Just gonna introduce ourselves while we're passing by. Make note of your Magni. Plotline begins by finding out about the incident that destroyed your family. Also, look at this guy. This guy's got a story behind him. That's how you know these folks have some real status. They've earned the loyalty of Berserker. And to keep expenses under control, I'm probably going to limit myself to rank 3 troops for a while. To be sure I don't overextend. Because it is the case that as your army gets bigger, it gets hungrier for real violence. Your cost of maintenance gradually goes up, and yet with our looting ranking, even just 4 randos on the road can provide free wine. Buttermilk Lacalian. No, you're a potter. Smith, woodshop. Lindana the Lizard, you are another gang leader. I'll keep this spear. This seems like would be a good starter weapon for a companion. Appropriate circumstance. Mules are just a good cash sink of just an asset that'll take care of itself. Two shoulder pads. Looking good. Oh, did they take away travel bonuses for mules? Sumpters? Yeah, these provide cargo capacity. Need to start stockpiling regular horses for logistics. There we go. Now there's footman on horse bonus. Another hat.
Run while you can!
Wait, shoot them!
Sports. Doesn't take long to become fully qualified for sports. And metal hats are worth keeping around. The moment I'm allowed to have more companions. Oh wait, I am. Should be on the lookout for more help. We can't leave town without fighting Buttermilk. In this world, there is only room enough for one Bannerlord. A problem shared by several of these cities. Some of them just insist on spawning you out here in the which, if they put the merchants out here in this little market setup outside the walls, that'd be fine. But everyone is inside town. There's nothing to do out there. No quarrel with the lizard today. Alright, yeah, both remaining locations are pretty close by here. And yeah, you can find each gang leader just lounging in town at their designated gang leader chair, reserved by their bodyguards. If there is a vacant slot in town for a gang, you will find the chair and no one sitting in it. Oh, you're Leadfoot's troops. So Butter is over there. The towns are appropriately maze-like. Also, hey, Barber. Nice. Good that those exist. Now then, you. You also work for Leadfoot. Well, in that case, if that's custom. Fight 'em like you see 'em.
Get him, hell!
The auto-resolve for fights is also far less jank now. Once you have a sizable advantage, it can be fine to just send your dudes in and let them clash. Pretty tough hat. You have earned some real gloves. Yeah. Now you're styling. Giorgio's mutton pie. Another spear. Again? town knows what it likes. Sports.
For glory!
Can't blame them. Such is the fashion. Yeah, just give you some options. Dracula! Hadn't noticed this before. Haven't usually looked at the east edge of the map. Dracula. And yeah, tournament prizes vary by region, just like how shop contents will vary by region. We can't leave here without fighting the Pie Man. People need to know. Corner belongs to the Jackal. It might work to just walk up to Mutton and punch him in the face. No. I do need to find their turf, not their home office. Wait, where's my backup? Man is powerful. Alright, Lock-In was out of commission because of regular combat. Alright. Hold on, we need to scheme. We need to brood and contemplate. Revenge will follow. Alright, give that second focus point of one-handed so I can keep learning. The Pie Man's army is strong. He's quite capable. Had a second minion, though. Oh, I've seen you in tournaments. Sudia's the golden. Man of the Mountain. Bastard of the Mountain. And the Silent. Hello. Alright, we have a crew. Let's see what I've opted into. Pole arms, one-handed, throwing weapons. Tactics, we got a tactician. And horse nowhere. And Mr. the Silent, athletic, tactical, some leadership. Adequate fighters. Alright, and what equipment did you bring with you? Sword. And a sword. You get the cloth hat. Good stuff. And yeah, we are considered inbounds for our troop count. Costingly a lot of money to wait to recover, to fight again. I feel like I probably reshuffled where everyone is. We'll see if they're still in the waterfront. We'll confirm that my squad should be in town. Alright, by default they disperse. Find one of them and be like, hey, we're doing a thing. Get everybody and their stuff together. First I will confirm the target. Yes. Alright, you're in. Assemble the squad. 3 of us is probably enough. Yeah. Perfect.
Cut them down!
So, Pi is vanquished. It'll be quite some time before we can safely go to war with anything. I think we have our core cycle of activity. We follow the tournament circuit, pick fights with local gangs, gradually accumulate wealth and power. Do the occasional field battle. Wait for the opportunity to strike.
I'll lead!
Yeah! There's real power. Alright, chopping with this thing is extremely slow, but you can't deny those hits. That's some honest numbers there. Well, here's our opponent. But first, are there any shields that are... almost every shield is actually civilian acceptable. Or no, the blue highlight means no. Non-civilian. Would carry throwing knives. Or, no, that's not a throwing, that's a regular. No, if I could carry throwing knives, though. In civilian mode. This is entirely acceptable. No law against carrying many small knives. Shoes. If I can manage to build a suit of armor using tournament prizes. It's all decent gear. And I'm working out the spacing for stabbing from horseback. For where sports will demand it. I'm so sorry. So yes. I've completely shattered your being. And now 2 duels. Triumphant. Obvious choice. And we hand down the boots across the line. Benefits for some. And after I put in the effort to track down our next associate, that should make for a fine starting session. Horse trader. Oh, okay, the clearing is behind you. But where are my goons? Where's my squad? Okay, if there's only 2 of them. I've decided we have a score to settle. Oh, the tooltip here actually tells you which territory the gang leader has. Alright, helpful. Squad. At this early age, Magni is not yet invincible. Oh, hey. Well, no, that's not actually good. Alright, I figured from... I saw Coif and thought this might be chain, but no, this is just a hood. I mean, it might still have a place in somebody's civilian attire. Everyone, please wear hats. All of my blood has left my body, making me the victor. And yeah, this crew is off to a healthy start. Bannerlord exists.
Beep.
The time is here. A new legend begins.